Hey guys, welcome back. It's been a pretty busy week for me, work-wise and game-wise, and I've got quite a bit of footage from these past couple of days as far as rallies and things like that. But to be honest, I will show you today's events due to recent circumstances, because I find them exciting and I think they are better to be shared now than keep them up for later. Now in my next video, I'll be showing you a couple of rallies we did up against RPR once again. Now keep in mind though, RPR has moved away from K54, so what you will see happened a couple of days ago, and our war with RPR is basically over since they're no longer here. Now shout out to RPR though, even though they left, they were cool dudes. They never spammed our diplomacy board, they never trash talked any of us. They took the hits, they had fun. Couple of them messaged me too, they liked our videos, and they also tipped their hats off to us as far as organization and attack. So that I really respect in other players, and that's basically the whole point of this game. Now before I move on, I want you guys to see that we have grown quite a bit in might, and this is thanks to the new players that have moved into our guild. Now when I say new players, I'm talking about Drop the Beat, who is a former SOK member. I think his name was SOK Rapper before he came here. He joined us to help us out with the rallies and with the attacks and have as much fun as possible. Now FireChan has been here for a couple of weeks. Shout out to him too. This guy's a beast, and I've known him, I've known Drop the Beat and FireChan since K5. Now another name that stands out is Nikki Babes. Now Nikki, for those of you who don't know her, she is a former GZT member. She came here to K54, has a couple of friends in the guild, and came in to help out. Now the reason I am mentioning and talking so much about her is the fact that this first part of the video is going to basically be featuring Nikki. Now you can check her might to kills ratio, they are very close, and she is a beast. She came in swinging, and to be honest, I'm impressed with her skills. Now if you go through the rest of the list, you can see a couple of familiar names like Devil Poison, Codename, and a few more that I can't remember at the moment. But these guys, if they do seem familiar to you, it's cause they were starring a couple of the times in my previous videos. They were basically in KOS and RPR if I'm not mistaken, and they were players that we had attacked, and Codename specifically we had zeroed at some point. So shout out to them, because they decided to join us and they tipped their hats to us and our skills, and they wanted a part of the fun. Final thing I want to mention is that if you check the might rankings in K54, you see that there is a new guild in town. It's called TH. Now if we check their might ranking, they've got quite a few 1 billion players and close to 1 billion might as well. Now TH, they are Chinese if I recall. Yes, they are Chinese, and the thing is that I won't spoil it because they've come here to fight, and the whole thing is, who do they fight? Watch the video and you will find out. So we're getting right into it. You can see that TH has taken BSB side. Now I don't know their backstory, meaning did they come here because they were invited and they want to help BSB out, or was it that they came here looking for a new kingdom, a crowded kingdom, which K54 is, and they decide to take BSB's part on this war? Whatever the fact is, we are having fun, I am enjoying myself, and it's good to always have an enemy to fight up against, or else this game really becomes boring. It's not Farmville, it's a war game. Now you can see we are already on the offense up against them. We have started a rally up against one of their players that was offline at the moment we were rallying him, and as you saw in the rankings before, they have a couple of 1 billion might players that actually port in to help out this guy getting rallied. Now as usual, I will speed up the video. Unfortunately, I don't have a screenshot of his gear so I could talk about it, and that's due to the fact that I was at work, so I could only send in a few troops, speed them up to get there in time in the rally, and flip my phone over and let it record in a corner. So the rally will take off in a few seconds, but before it does, due to the fact that I don't actually have a screenshot of his hero lineup and his troops, I remember though that he actually had correct heroes. He didn't have heroes that provided nothing to his troops. He actually had a few infantry heroes, army boost heroes, and a few cavalry and ranged heroes. So this helped him quite a bit in the defense. Plus, he was fully reinforced by his teammates, which is finally a change for us in K54. Now you see first attack lands and he is burning. Now the fact is, and too bad for us, in this first attack, although he does have a significant might drop, which is 19 million and we've got like 15, you see that all his troops are wounded. So basically we hit his reinforcements and a few of his. He was a T4 player, but to be honest, he didn't have a lot of them. He had like 400k T4 in there at the time. Unfortunately, as you can see while we were setting up our second rally, he actually shielded and we lost all the fun. Kudos to him though, he didn't have any dead troops, only a few wounded, so he got away with it this time. Now after this rally I got back to work and I was messaged up again and I was told that there is a second rally going on. Now here's the nice fact, the important fact, that MIP joined us in this rally. You can see that their leader, I think, is sitting there in the corner, and they are also preparing a rally up against Seraph Young or whatever his name is. Now the sad part about this is the fact that after I had just sent out my troops, as you can see, and I started to speed them up so they could get there in time, this guy shielded up as well. So it was another failed attack on a second target from TH. So as you can see, they decided to go on the offense and they decided to rally Nikki. She was fully reinforced, of course, the players were online, but to be honest, I wasn't. I can't recall, it was either very late at night for me or I was at work and I really couldn't check my phone at the moment. The fact is, and shout out to Zeus from R1 in our guild for sitting down and recording this for me and sending it to me. Now I don't know what went wrong, but as you can see, TH decided they would disband just a few seconds before they actually hit Nikki. Now, was it because they understood that she was online at the moment? Was it the fact that she was fully reinforced and they didn't have enough troops? To be honest, I have no idea. But the fact is, we didn't get hit by them. You can also take a quick look at their battle gear and get an idea of what these accounts have as far as equipment goes. Now, Nikki, after that rally that was done on her, she actually found an open TH player with about 1 million troops. He was sitting at 90 million and he was in research gear. I've said this in the past multiple of times. Don't sit there in research gear and be an easy target. So you can see, no scout, no nothing, Nikki just goes in for the first blow. Now Fire-chan, you can see, is up in the corner as well, waiting. He actually delivered the second blow and Nikki finished him off with a third blow. So in this first attack, you can see both sides have about the same might drop. This always happens, whether he's a small player or a big player, it always costs on both sides in the first hit. The fact is that now Nikki basically has the guy's lineup, so Fire-chan can come in with the correct lineup and finish off most of the troops while Nikki clears out the rest and takes the guy's leader. So we see a 7 million might drop to 2.8 million might drop and 168k dead troops, and Nikki's attack delivers another about 7 million might drop and clears out 394k dead troops. These troops you can see in the next screenshot, they were basically T3 and about a couple hundred KT1 troops, which are basically used for buffers, like most players call them, or meat shields. But to be honest, if you're a player who is at this caliber of might, like 90 million and lower than T4, it's not really useful to keep your troops out open and have your buffers up in the front, because those usually fill up your hospital and you lose all your T3 troops. At this point I want to apologize if the video seems a bit cut and sewn together. I tried and did a small tribute to our new players that came into this guild, because I really respect the fact that they are with us here to fight. Stay tuned, because things are about to heat up. As you can see, already MIP and SOK are ganging up on BSB, Morrowind OG, if I remember his name correctly. The fact is that we weren't able to participate in this rally, mainly because people were offline at the time, so I can't recall what it was for me, but I was able to get on and record. I think I had just woken up, or I was at work at the moment, so since nobody was rallying, I just put the screen recorder and let my phone do the rest of the work. Now, unfortunately, small spoiler in this, I don't have the report from SOK's rally up against Morrowind, but I do have MIP's report. I don't remember why I didn't get it from SOK, but shout out to both guilds, because they've been sharing quite a few reports with me lately, and it's been helping me out a ton with my videos. Before I speed up the part where the rallies actually march, I want you to take a look at this guy's gear. So he's sitting at 214 million might, and he's got 14.5 million kills. Now, it doesn't really, it's not an excuse, I would say, that he's got, honestly, gear that really confuses me. And here's the reason why. On the left side, he's got basically research and construction gear put on, and on the right side he's got war gear and the Griffin Talon, which does provide fire trebuchets, I think, boost, but it's mostly a building boost equipment. So this guy basically has a mix of construction, research, and war gear. Honestly, I don't know why he would choose this kind of gear. The fact is that he was offline. You can see B5B in the bottom is sending one troop marches so they can kind of wake him up and he can shield against this attack. It doesn't really do him any good in the end. But the fact is, and I've said this multiple times, if you've got non-war gear on, or if you don't have better gear than that and you're sitting at 214 million might, I really question where the money was spent. But apart from that, I don't want to hate on the guy. The fact is that since he wasn't sitting in war gear, the damage he inflicted upon the ralliers was minimum. Plus, when someone sees this, he easily decides to rally, and the people supporting you basically get zero boost from gear you could have provided them with. Anyway, the fact is that MIP is about to start walking. To be honest, at this point, I have no idea if they timed this rally on BSB or it just worked out this way. The fact is that MIP, you can see, is further behind, and SOK's rally hasn't started off, but it does start off a few seconds before MIP's rally gets close to the target. So this way, SOK hit first and MIP came in and cleaned out the rest of the troops. Now we will watch this guy's might drop. Like I said, I don't have SOK's report, so he goes from 214 million might down to 194 million. MIP comes in seconds later, so nobody can basically reinforce him immediately after the first hit, and he drops to 170 million might. I've got the report from MIP, you can see it. This guy lost 37.3 million might in the second hit, and he has lost 1,180,000 troops. Now, I don't have the analytics of the troops he lost, but from the might drop, I'm guessing there are quite a few T4s in there and quite a few T3s and T1s, T2s. The fact is that they finished him off. I don't recall who got his leader. I think SOK actually came in and finished off with the third attack and took his leader, and this guy was ZEROED. Now the fun didn't end there. See, BSB decided they would try and rally us down today, so they went up against Nikki once again. You can see that they're setting up the rally already. Their big guys are starting to port in. And the good thing is that Nikki was actually online at the time, and so were we. Unfortunately, I was in a 24-hour shield, so I couldn't really break it at the moment because I've got a lot of gold stored on me waiting for a research event to pop up so I can start popping out a few researches. But the fact is that most of the guild was online at the moment, so they were able to port in or actually start sending in troops to take in the rally. As natural, I've sped up the video to where the rally actually starts marching against Nikki. I don't know what happened, but there's a small confusion and Nikki was basically reinforced up to 900k troops. Someone pulled out and nobody really paid attention up until the few seconds that were left before the rally actually hit it. So you can see that Nikki, after the hit lands, she is smoking, which means it's a victory for our side and a defeat on BSB. Now you can see Nikki only dropped like a few million might, and the total is 13 million might to 41 million might. Keep in mind that most of the troops wounded were basically troops sent in from the guild. You can see the analytics as far as troops that were killed on BSB's side, and they did lose quite a few troops. Going through the reports, you can see that a few of the players actually lost some T4 in there as well. That is usually due to bad setup as far as sending in meat shields or T3 padding, as it's usually called by other players. Now, this wasn't the only rally. They actually decided to rally us once again. So a few moments later, they started setting up a second rally, and this time the rallier was Kroger. Now Kroger is a 1 billion might player in BSB, so it really was intense when we saw him actually getting ready to rally us. People started porting in. We started sending resources to Nikki so she could actually heal up her troops, and people started pulling back their reinforcements and sending in fresh ones. Now once again, I've sped up the video to where the rally actually starts marching, but I want you to look at MIP SOS help in the top. They're actually rallying a BSB player, and the guy is ZEROED. He is in the middle of the screen. We were also rallying him at the same time as MIP, so there are basically two things going on. The rally hits, and as you can see, Nikki this time loses only a million might, where Kroger drops I think about 7 million in this attack. So here's the report. You can see that this was a 38.6 million might drop for BSB and a 6 million might drop for us. Again, troops wounded from people supporting Nikki. You can also see the dead troops on BSB side. A lot of T4 were dead this time around. I don't know if they haven't sat down and actually done the numbers so they can find what an appropriate T3 padding or meat shield can be used and how it should be set up. The fact is that these guys are losing T4s in almost every rally they do against us. Now the fun didn't end here. Like I said before, MIP SOS help in the top was actually setting up a rally against BSB ZEROED. Now at the point I really didn't realize it because there was a lot of commotion. I was trying to keep the picture steady so I could actually film what was going on. The fact is that we actually started a rally up against ZEROED as well. Now the crazy part is that ZEROED was actually online while the first rally was coming towards him. So I don't know why he didn't shield. I guess he was in fury at the moment. So kudos to IGG for way back then when introducing fury, because it makes it very hard for players to actually be able to shield right after an attack or a support. So you can see the first attack from MIP lands and they drop him about 20 million might. Kudos and shout out to MIP. They also shared this report with us, and here is the screenshot of the report. So you can see this guy started at about 7 million troops and they dropped him down to 5.1. He did have reinforcements. I don't have the analytic one, but the fact is that we were actually rallying him a few seconds later. You can see he poured away, so we fortunately had a few carpets in our packs and we helped out and sped up the march. Like I said before, he couldn't shield because he was in fury, so This guy, I don't know what he was thinking, was probably panicking. I think he should have stayed close to his fellow players, and they would have reinforced him so he could actually deal some damage and maybe not lose as many troops as he actually did. So the rally landed. We dropped him about 14.8 million might. You will see the report coming up in just a second. He's got 857k dead troops and 138 wounded. The might drop was significant on our part, but don't forget it was divided between the players participating in the rally, whereas BSB, he didn't have troops apart from one guy supporting him. So basically the dead troops were all his, the wounded were probably his supporting troops. This video comes to an end at this point. This was all the fun we had today, so I hope you guys enjoyed it. It was a bit random here and there at some points, but I want to basically give tribute to the players that joined us recently. If you like what you've seen, don't forget to comment, rate and subscribe, and share with your fellow players. Always remember, have fun while playing this game. Thank you for watching. Silent out.